have a finals coming up? You don't gotta answer that question. I already know the answer is yes. Welcome to Vlogmas Day 5. What is up? It's your girl Naya, aka Tiny Dreams, and I'm back at it again with another video for you guys. I am so convinced that this wig and beanies is my thing. Like, I don't know what it is, but I'm just so loving this. But let me stop rambling and get into why you're here. Final season has finally came, y'all. Final season has fallen upon us. I don't know what it was, but I woke up today. Mind you, I graduated school in May. I woke up today and was like, oh shoot, I gotta get ready for my final. I gotta prepare for my final. What final, sis? You're not in school. Then a light bulb lit up in my head. Just because I'm not having a final doesn't mean nobody else isn't having a final. So I'm going to give you 10 tips, okay? 10 tips to get that A on your final, that B on your final, or even if you want to C. I'm going to run you some tips, okay, sis? I got you covered. Tip number 1, do not procrastinate. When you get that syllabus or that paper that says final review from your professor or your teacher, don't put it in your backpack and wait until the day before to look at it. Do it as soon as you get that paper, okay? As soon as you have the free time, review that paper and see what it is that you have to know for your final, y'all. Sometimes y'all be acting like the Bird Box when it comes to your final, okay? Blindfold on. What final? Huh? A final's coming up? No. That movie is fake, but them grades is real, boo. Don't get it twisted. Study when you get that syllabus. Don't wait. Tip number 2. Ask your teacher for help. Do not wait until it's too late to ask for help. And I know some people say they're stupid questions, but when it comes to finals, y'all, and you have test anxiety, there is no such thing as a stupid question, because when you have test anxiety, your mind is everywhere. Left, right, up, down, north, south, east, west. You're not thinking straight. And so sometimes asking questions on the littlest things that you probably already know, but then again, you're not too sure of, wouldn't hurt you at all. When I was in school and my professor gave me that final receipt. Run that back. When I was in school and my professor gave me the syllabus for the final, I was reviewing things and asking questions left and right. What does this mean? What does that mean? Wait, I was asking questions left and right because I wanted to make sure that I knew the material so I could pass. Tip number 3, study the material you are unfamiliar with first before you study the material you are familiar with. When it comes to finals, people sometimes will review the material they already know because it just gives them that boost of confidence. And then when it comes to the material that they don't know, they don't study as much as they do for the material they do know. Let's say it's a math final and you're unfamiliar with 3 out of the 5 sections. Study those 3 sections first, because I guarantee you, once you study those questions, I feel like this helps a lot, because if you already know material, I'm not saying to not study that material, but you should focus on the material you don't know. So then when you take your final, you sit in there and you're looking at the material, you're looking at the test, and you see what's on the paper and you're just like, wow, I was unfamiliar with this at first, but I studied it first and I studied it more than the material that I did know. Now I'm good. Now I'm gonna know what I'm doing. I feel great. I'm not gonna have an anxiety attack. Utilize a highlighter. Sometimes you can over highlight. When it comes to certain subjects like anatomy, psychology, or just whatever you're struggling with more, utilize a highlighter and use different colors. Let's say you don't know the definition of something. Highlight key words in that definition to help you memorize what the word is, or to help you memorize what the answer is. Utilize post-its and index cards. I can't tell you how helpful index cards and post-its were to me. When you're using a post-it stamp, you face that paper down on the table and you force yourself to think about what that answer is, because lifting up that paper, y'all, lifting up that paper is just, it does something else. It's different than when you're on a computer, because when I use a post-it stamp or an index card and I lift up that paper, I'm just like, damn, I didn't want to do that, but I did that. Now I really gotta learn this. Now I really gotta study this so I know what it is, so I don't lift that paper off the table again. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but lifting up that paper off the table, like just to peek at it, was just self-defeat for me, y'all. Like, damn. Tip number 5. Study the material in sections. Don't try to study everything at once and cram it in your head, because you're just gonna stress yourself out. It's final season. Final season is stressful enough. Study section 1 one day, study section 2 the next day. Or if section 1 is easier, like I mentioned before, study the material you're unfamiliar with first. Take a look at the sections, see what sections you're unfamiliar with first, and study those sections first. Take it one by one. You don't gotta do it all at once, honey. And if you start studying as soon as you get that syllabus or that paper, you will have time to take it section by section each day, as opposed to having to cram it all in your head in one day if you wait till the last minute. Tip number 6, study for a couple of hours out of the day. Y'all, I can't tell you, I sound like a hypocrite, because when it came to me, I would study for hours and hours and hours. Like, I would not take no breaks. I would say at most study for 2 to 3 hours and then take a break. Do something to distract yourself from the material, and then just go back to it. It's gonna be there. I don't know why I didn't do that, but that's just me. Tip number 7, after you've studied the material, review it again without looking at the material. Okay, so basically cover the answers and write out the question or the problem or whatever it is. Solve it without looking at the paper. Once you feel confident enough to do that, write out the problem, write out the question over and over until it becomes second nature to you. Because once it becomes second nature to you, I promise you, when you get that final or you get that test, whatever it is that you're studying for, when you get it and you see that question, it's going to just hit you in the head like, whoa, I literally wrote that question about 4 to 5 times, 10 times at most. I know how to do this. And you just find yourself writing on the paper. Like, it's just gonna flow out, I promise you. That's what happened to me, and it's such a great feeling, because at first it's draining, it's stressful, because you're thinking about whether or not doing all of this is going to contribute to you passing. But I'm telling you, it will. Trust me, okay? Trust me. Tip number 8, sleep. Get your sleep, y'all. Do not stay up until 11, 12, 1, 2 a.m. Get your rest, because, don't quote me on this, but I did take psychology in college. When you're sleeping, right, the material that you've learned or that you were studying throughout the day, your brain is processing and retaining the information that you learned. And you need to be sleeping for that. You need to be getting hours of sleep for your brain to do that. If you're up until 2 a.m. and you have to be up by 4 or 6 a.m., your brain is not going to have enough time to process and retain that information. You want to pass your final, right? So get your sleep. Tip number 9, prepare your things for the next day the night before. Whatever it is that you need for tomorrow, your outfit, meal prep, whatever it is that you need to do for tomorrow, at least that portion before you take your test, prepare yourself for that the night before. Have all of your papers together just in case you want to study in the car or studying on the bus or on the train. Prepare yourself so the day of the final, all you have to worry about is, I have to be on the bus or the train or start leaving my house by this time. My final starts at this time. That's all you should be worrying about. Tip number 10, eat. Do not go to your final on an empty stomach, because you will not be able to concentrate. You do not want to be hungry when you're taking your final, and sometimes people take their final at home or in school. Either way, make sure your stomach is full, so once you take that final, your brain juices is flowing and you're not thinking about that burger. And a bonus tip, of course, tell yourself that you can do it. Tell yourself that you have what it takes to pass this test. When you tell yourself that you can do it, you are already a quarter of the way to passing, because you already told yourself that you can do it. If other people are telling you that you got this, you can do it, you're gonna get an A, and you don't believe what they're saying and you don't believe in yourself, then how do you expect to believe what they're saying? All that they're saying is just going to be words to you. You have to instill that confidence in yourself. Just believe in yourself, because after all, it is a test, and I know final grades really do determine whether or not you have to take the course over. Don't focus on that. Just focus on what you did to prepare for that final. You know what you did. You know how long you studied. You know how long you rewrote those questions or problems over and over and over again. Take that into consideration, apply that, let that sink in your mind, and utilize that to help you be confident on the final. With that being said, those are all my tips to help you get that A, or just to help you pass your final in general. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Watch my other Vlogmas videos, and good luck on your final, y'all. You got this. I believe in you. Let me know if you pass. if you care to even let me know. But yeah, I'll see you in Vlogmas Day 6.